Hello, this is Dr. Glenn Shepard, and I have made several videos, and this is one of in a series about some books that I've written about transformation of human consciousness by design, and another one, Freedom, Love, Joy movement. And these videos kind of demonstrate some of the things that are in these books. This particular video is about creating a constructivist educational community. Okay, and this is actually part of the one of my books on transformation of human consciousness by design. It's in that book, the full article, and it's also available online. It's a published, peer-reviewed article, and I have my wife and I wrote it together. She wrote the part about Montessori school system and educational programs, but it's called "Creating a Constructivist Educational Community Using the Probe in Montessori Methods." Okay, so just kind of want to go through, what this means in this video. And again, you can read more about it. Either you can get this article online by doing a search in a database, maybe not necessarily just your phone or something, but online database, university or library. You could get it. Okay, the idea for the article basically is how to, make a constructivist school. And I have another video about what that means, constructivism and creating a school, and a couple other videos about this concept. Okay, you could look at and refer you to. And I have one on the probe method as well, separate video, if you want to look at that. But the idea is that the Montessori system is one that it's already works, and it's very effective. Another would be the Waldorf school system. Rudolf Steiner, was a remarkable educator. It blended sciences and education and whatnot, and that's another great model. So one of these type of models you look at, and I'm advocating not everybody do exactly Montessori method, but do something very similar. Look at that as the beginning point, rather than reinventing the wheel necessarily, and use those concepts. And that blends in. What happens is using that the Montessori concept, it blends in right into actually using the probe method in many ways already. And so this kind of, like I said, blends well into when children get older, middle school and then high school. Okay. And this article kind of explains how that might happen. Okay. The Montessori it is a school system that's been around for a long time. Many of you may know something about it, but one thing it does is there's a lot of tools, manipulative tools, I should say, that children use, and they've developed, like to help them learn math skills. Okay, they help them learn even concepts of algebra and geometry and whatnot, but also for building other skills that children need, even the reading skills and whatnot. So they have a lot of hands-on, so it's very important. And they have individual allows instruction. Basically, each child is helped to build their own learning, and the teachers, make sure that they are successful. Okay, so there's a lot of success, and it builds. And Montessori is really big on repetition. People think, well, how do kids learn reading and writing and all these really skills they need? In a constructivist, they're not sure, but it builds their skills much more. Okay, because the children are actually using hands-on manipulatives. They're talking, they're discussing, they're exploring on their own, and the learning is much more in depth. And the research shows over and over again that they're very successful children who, as far as other kind of tests, if you want to give them tests or whatever, but they learn subject matter extremely well, content and reading, writing, and sciences and all this, even though they might not be taking the traditional approach. Okay, so what it does too, this approach fosters growth in the child, and this is what schools education is all about, is the growth of each individual child, not just their math and reading scores. Okay, that dummies down what education is all about, the competitive system. Okay, and this is a system that doesn't grade, but they move forward and they progress, and it's about self-regulation. Okay, so they learn to be disciplined. They learn to take care of themselves. They learn life skills, but they also learn skills about being, feel valued, and that helps them with motivation. They want to learn then. When they become successful, particularly, you want to learn more, okay? And then when you work with other people and other children and understand them, you develop empathy, love, caring, and these are all things that are fostered within a Montessori system. As well as social skills. Children learn about themselves by interacting, discussing things with other children, and it also helps even reach some idea of self-awareness with this sort of approach. Okay, so there's a lot of research, in this article. You could, like I said, read it as far as how much research there is for the positive benefits of the Montessori. One thing, it does is provide a safe and secure place for a child to begin to enjoy learning in the learning environment, okay? And that's very important for a child to feel good about asking questions and feeling like they're taken care of and their ideas are valued and that they're valued. And it also helps with communication skills, where they communicate with others, but they also listen to others, because it's a two-way street communication, and they learn reading, writing, communications, and speaking as well, and they feel more confident. And then they all, begin to feel more of a sense of community, working together and forming a community, and it makes them feel as part of it feeling safe and secure too when they do that. And what happens is they become successful. So they set goals. Teachers help them meet goals, and when that happens, you feel successful, and again, this whole idea of motivation and liking learning and wanting to progress. So another important thing about Montessori is it makes or helps people with higher level thinking too. It helps children with their logic and their reasoning abilities. Okay, and it also gives them awareness of social consciousness, which I've got to mention a little earlier, and also problem solving and decision making, because it puts them in places that would, they question, they learn, and this sort of thing. So it puts them in a place of joy as well, okay? And as you see, that sort of approach would feed right into a probe method approach with older students. And like I said, I have a video on the probe method you can look at. But it's basically it's a thorough investigation of any topic, question, or problem. Okay, so you can investigate individually and most commonly working in cooperative groups, okay, to understand the problem and maybe how to solve the problem or something like this, or just if you just want to investigate a topic. The idea is it doesn't have to be always a problem. It could be a question you have, or it could just be a topic you're very interested in. A student might be very interested in the stars or something, and that's a topic they get into. But they go into it deeper and deeper. You see, that's the idea with the probe method, is you go into it so that you understand it completely as much as possible. Just like a problem you presented, you want to know why this is true, and then what you can do to fix it or change it. You keep probing and probing. Okay, you don't just quit. So you become, people worry about, well, what about subject matter stuff? Well, in this sort of approach, students have that opportunity to go deep into subject matter, okay? And that's what higher education is. If you look at higher education, you think of someone who becomes an expert because they went deeper and deeper. You get a master's degree, you've gone really deep, and you get a doctorate degree, then you're supposed to be like the real expert or something in that field. Well, with the probe method, it'll help young people, middle high school range, begin to expand into their. They're being limited right now. Many students are. They could have doctorate level abilities or degrees almost, type level, perhaps. And they also will be much happier, and that's really a big part of this whole thing, that they feel good about themselves. Okay, how can you make this happen? Well, you design it. Again, my book is all about design. How do you design a society? How do you design a school? We can do that, And reading my materials, I explain how we can and we should be able to make this happen as in education or as society, okay? And I guess the ultimate goal from my standpoint would be to create an educational community that would it would be like a full service community for children and adults, where children could have this learning environment, educational environment, where all their needs would be met in this one place. For us, if they need psychological, emotional, additional social help, or physical, medical support, and the whole works. This child could have that, and also parents and community adults who need maybe some counseling or help in maybe finding work, having some training available for adults, so as well, so that it helps adults in the community with their educational needs and maybe some other social needs. Okay, so if you would like to see more on my channel at Freedom, Love, and Joy on YouTube, I'd appreciate it. And I also have a website, freedomloveandjoy.com. And I also have 2 books on Amazon.com, Transformation of Human Consciousness by Design, and then Freedom, Love, Joy Movement. So I hope you join me, and hope you have a wonderful day. Right. Bye.